Welcome, this is Vijay from Dino Code Academy. So in this lecture, we are going to fetch all the views inside our main activity file. So let's start this lecture. So head back to Android Studio. So in previous lecture, we have already created the design of our application. That is a guess the word application. So if you are new, then please watch the previous video. The link is in the description because the things will not become clear. So in this lecture, we are going to fetch all the IDs inside our activity file. So just close this style.xml file and click on this project tab and just click on this main activity file. So first I'm going to type here one command that is declaring for the views. And first we will use a latent var and then the first variable that is txt, that is for write answer. Then press a colon and then use a text view. In Kotlin we don't require a semicolon, then again latent var, then type txt and the variable name is question container. And it is also of text view, then again latent var and there is a variable which is txt. Then the variable which is for user input, that is edit text, so I am going to type et and then type here user input and then again colon and it is of type edit text, then hit a tab key. Then for our three buttons, then again type latent var and the first is actually bt show, then semicolon and type it here a button, hit a tab key. Then I'm going to press Ctrl D 2 times and just change it here to check and then again here I'm going to type it here next. Now instead of the onCreate method we need to initialize all these views IDs. So first type txt, that is for write answer, and equals to, that is for find view by ID, then r.id dot and then type txt, that is correct answer. Now the right answer is not the ID. So first just go to the activity XML. So this is the correct answer and this one will be the right answer. So I'm going to type txt and here type it as write an answer. Now it's time to see write. Just type it here txt, still not displaying the right answer variable id. Just copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so I have made a mistake. This is not a text, the id is existed here. This is because the Android Studio version, the most probably the older version, displays the ID at the top, so that's why the problem exists, guys. It's so much confusing to work with new Android Studio. So again, right answer. Now everything works fine. So you can see again I try to build it so that Gradle doesn't give me error when my project gets completed. So the new version of Android Studio actually creates trouble for me because I'm actually working on my laptop, in which the version of the Android Studio is older. So in this system I have updated the Android Studio version and it creates tons of problem for me because the ID actually is showing at the bottom of the view. In previous version the ID is shown at the top, so I need to just addict it with that to see the ID at the top and it creates a problem. So sorry for that if I make typos in my video. So just forget it. Now start coding again. So txt and that's this time the correct answer equals to find view by ID and again for r.id dot and then txt, that is for correct answer. And again text view which is for question container, then equals to find view by ID, then r.id dot and then here type for the txt and then the question container. Then initialize all of our user input. So type here et, that is user input is equal to find view by ID and again for r.id dot and then here what the ID is actually et user input, then press the enter key. Then for buttons, the first is bt show. So the first is bt show is equal to find view by id, and again r dot id dot, and the id is actually bt show. Then again for bt next is equal to find view by id, then r dot id dot, there is a bt, and that is for next. And similarly for our bt show, now it is time for bt check because show is already done. Then find view by id, then r dot id dot, that is for bt check. So that's all. We have initialized all of our IDs. Now it's time to display type of one method. So it's time to run the application to see that everything is working fine. So I'm going to run it into my virtual emulator. So you can see that our application is up and running and it runs fine. Just minimize it. So what I'm going to do, just at the end of the onCreate, here we are going to declare one method. So type of one, which is a function keyword, and then here I'm going to name my method as mix words, and then start the basis of the method, and this method will accept one parameter. So I'm going to type here word, and here I'm going to use a string, and again there's a colon, and then again I'm going to use a string. So this method will return a string. Now inside of this mix words method, we are going to declare a variable. So simply type val, then the name of the variable, which is word, equals to arrays dot, so first select the arrays, then dot as list, and hit a tab key. Then before inside the array list, make it into string, and hit the tab key. Then inside of these brackets, simply type words, that is a parameter, which is this one. So complete it with the word. Then after that type split, and then start a braces, and into that just dot, and here you need to type 2 regex, hit an enter key. Then after that just simply type drop, last while, and inside of this open and closing braces, inside of this just start opening and closing braces, then type it dot is empty, hit an enter key, and after that dot to type array. So that's the code that we want for this. Now if you don't need to know everything about this, is the code that I got from the Stack Overflow site. So just I copy it and paste it here. So it will actually does what? It actually splits the text and make it into the reverse order. So while learning programming, you don't need to learn everything in a detail, because sometimes you only need to know the functionality of the code. So this code will does what? It actually gets the arrays and split into different characters. So later on we can randomly arrange the character. Now writing further logic so that we can shuffle the collections. So for that I'm going to type collections. Just simply type here collections dot shuffle. Then here we need to pass the parameter, that is word. Hit a tab key, and then again press enter key, and then type a var at this time. Then type mixed, the variable then name that you want to give. You can name it whatever you want. Then equals to double quotes. Then after that I'm going to use a for each loop, and press I key, then a colon, and then not colon, I'm going to use the in keyword. Then after that I'm going to use a word, then opening and closing braces of the for loop, and inside of this just type here mixed, this is a plus, equals to I, hit a tab key. Then at the end of the for loop I'm going to return mixed. The variable that we want is a mixed. So that marks the completion of our code for the mixed words. So that's all about the coding for this lecture. In this lecture we have initialized all of our views and also add a method that is mixed word, which will basically takes the argument as a word and then split into different characters so that we can use those characters and shuffle them and display it to our text view. So we're going to add all this functionality in our upcoming videos. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you can get an update when I upload my video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.